Hello, loves! Today we are going to be journaling together. This is my very first time doing this kind of video, so bear with me. For this journal idea, I am going to be doing a whole spread on the month of October, starting with just writing out the word and then adding some little details to it along the way. I decided I wanted to make it a little spooky, so I'm adding a little spider web in the corner. These are really simple to make, but I feel like it gives them a really cool, unique look, and by them I mean the page. Next, I just sketched out a little witch's hat, and then I'm just going to be coloring that in using a black Sharpie and a purple marker. Next, I am just going to add a couple little ghosties here going on the spooky theme, which ironically looked a lot like the Snapchat ghost, not my intention. And then I'm just going to add a moon and a couple of stars. I did this in a band across the entire page, and I was kind of just going for a galaxy spooky theme. And then added another little ghosty here. And then a quick little spider, either for good measure or bad luck, I'm not quite sure. These pumpkins were definitely a last minute idea, and I'm not sure how I feel about them. I kind of like the idea of them just all black, but I ended up not doing that, so that's okay. You know, we're learning, we're making mistakes, and that's how you learn. So I just went ahead and drew them out, and then I am going to also draw some haystacks around them to kind of fill in that negative space. Then I am just using a burnt orange watercolor and just filling in the pumpkins. Next, using a brown colored pencil, I'm going to go ahead and fill in the stumps of the pumpkins. I then am just going in with black watercolor and filling in the spider's web. My goal was to make it look slightly ombre, so I did do a couple of layers of this. Once the first layer dried, I went over again with the black watercolor in the very top, kind of to give it the ombre effect from dark to light. Dream a little dreamer. I am now adding a moon and a couple more stars because off camera I decided to extend my galaxy star thing across the entire page. I am then just sketching out a little broom here with the pencil. What is your guys' favorite Halloween movie? Mine is definitely Halloween Town for sure, and this broom just gave me major Halloween Town vibes. I'm not sure why, but that's exactly what I thought about when I was drawing this. Now I'm going in and I am just coloring it in with a brown colored pencil. Next, I'm going to be using yellow watercolor for the broom to give it that nice broom color. And then once that dries, I am going to go over the bristles with a black Sharpie, just to give it a little bit more detail and bring those outlines and those details back to life after they have been covered by watercolor. I previously sketched out off camera some candy corn and a crystal ball, so I am just tracing over those sketches and then filling them in with yellow and orange Sharpie. For the crystal ball, I am just using a purple fine point marker to fill that in. And then on the bottom, I am just filling that in with gray. So now flipping on to the other side of the spread, I am creating a box that I was attempting to make purple ombre using dark purple watercolor and then mixing that shade with a white watercolor and putting that shade on the bottom to give it an ombre look. while that is drying, I'm just going to go over on the other page and retrace those letters in the word October to just bring them back to life and help them pop a little bit more. After it is dry, I am writing my manifestations here. So on the top, I am just writing the word manifest, and then I'm going to draw a cute little line underneath it and add some little details. I like to dedicate a whole little block to my manifestations while journaling because it really helps me be present in the moment. For this month, I am writing, I am attracting love, prosperity, and kindness. This month will help me grow in unimaginable ways. This month will be amazing and healing. And let me tell you guys, I can already feel it. I know this month's going to be fantastic, and I am so excited to manifest it. I am now going and outlining it with a black Sharpie to give it more definition, and I feel like this just really helps shape it since my shapes are a little bit oblong since I just used the marker and didn't sketch it out. And then I am adding some little dots on the outside to give it a little bit more detail. I am then using a yellow and burnt orange watercolor shade to create another box here. Again, I was going for that ombre look, so I was using the burnt orange shade on top and then mixing it in with the yellow along the way, as you guys will see. This one didn't go as well as I was hoping. It didn't really turn out ombre. I actually just started playing with watercolors this weekend for the very first time ever, but I just loved the way they look. I thought it was so cute, and I really wanted to incorporate that kind of art into this video, so bear with me. I'm still learning. It is still a very new process, but I'm really excited for it. I like to think of journaling as an expression of self-love, and I love taking this time to myself to create and just let whatever flows, flow. Underneath that, I am creating another box, or more of a rectangle, and now that I'm thinking about it again, they all kind of look like rectangles and not really like boxes, but I am just using some blue watercolors in this one and a couple of different shades to give it that, again, ombre effect, but this one kind of just turned out more like a sky, but I still really like it, and I think it goes along with the spooky theme very well.
Saturday night, sensational double thrill stock car spectacular at 7:30 at Norwood.
So after they dry, I am going to outline them again with that black Sharpie. Again, I just really feel like this helps give them shape and kind of all make sense.
Patches and showers early Friday, but improving to greater than 6 miles on Friday morning. Stars shining bright above me. Night breezes seem to whisper sycamore tree. Dream a little dreamer.
In the first box, it is going to be my love letter to myself. When I journal, I like to remind myself to take time to learn to love me. This little love letter to myself is a really nice exercise and practice for my self-love experiment, and to constantly remind myself that I am loved and that I am valuable and beautiful even in my own eyes. In the bottom box, I am writing some goals for myself. I like to do this each time I journal, and today the number 3 really stuck out to me, so that is the number that I used, and I am writing down 3 goals for myself this month. I then am just sketching out a little sun and some clouds because since it kind of looked like a sky, I felt like it kind of went along with the theme pretty well. Off camera, I went ahead and sketched out some leaves to kind of take up some of that negative space. I really, again, think sketching helps out so much. As you can see, I'm not being super particular in making sure that I'm tracing on the exact lines that I drew with the pencil, but at least it gives me a clear idea of what my vision was, and then I can kind of modify it and continue to create it as I'm going along. Then going in with some dark green watercolor, I am beginning to fill in just a couple of leaves here. So these watercolors markers that I'm using here are really cool. All you have to do is draw a little line or a shape, add some water, and then you're good. These are perfect for art on the go. I took them to Starbucks this weekend when I was learning to use watercolors, and I thought they were just so much fun. For the other leaves, I am using a burnt orange color to fill them in, and then my camera decided to stop recording, so I went ahead and filled in the rest of the leaves with some browns and some greens, with some mistakes along the way as you can see, but that's okay. I am now just going with a black Sharpie again on those lines to trace over them. Again, I just feel like this really brings the leaves back to life, since sometimes when you're using watercolor, I've noticed that when you're doing it over an already drawn out image, it can kind of dull the colors of the image, whatever it was. So I like to just use this black Sharpie to kind of bring those leaves back to life.
Fog patches and showers early Friday, but improving to greater than 6 miles on Friday morning. Stars shining bright above you. Night breezes seem to whisper sycamore tree. Dream a little dreamer.
So that is my completed journal. I really hope you guys enjoyed this and got some inspiration to get your creative juices flowing today. Thank you guys so much for your patience as I am still learning how to film these types of videos for you guys. If you enjoyed this, please be sure to leave a big thumbs up. Remember to keep your vibes way high, and I will see you guys for my next video.